S.T. Gordon was born on April 18, 1959, in Pasco, Washington. Gordon is one of boxing's mystery men, a fighter who seemingly appeared out of nowhere with a sketchy background. The mystery starts with a trainer named Chuck Harris, who was reported in a New York Times article to have fought professionally over 185 times, taking on the likes of Roger Donahue, Walter Cartier, and Jake LaMotta. In a Ring magazine article, Harris was reported to have been a welterweight whose career was cut short by World War II. However, the boxing record-keeping website of BoxRec shows no listings of anyone with this name with that stated list of opponents. Now, Gordon himself would have 6 of his own fights removed from his record on BoxRec, as it was clear that there was a fictional padding that took place to make his win column seem more than what it really was. What we do know is that Gordon was one of 13 children and was named ST because, quote, "My mama told me there were so many children, they just ran out of names." Gordon worked in Las Vegas hotels as a porter and dishwasher before taking up boxing at the age of 17. With no amateur record, he would make his pro debut at the age of 18 against Alvaro Lopez, losing a close 5-round decision. At 6 feet and 183 pounds, Gordon had the dilemma of whether or not to shrink down and compete at light heavyweight, or deal with size disadvantages in taking on heavyweights. Early on, he opted to take on the big boys in hopes of getting the big money. In March of 1978, he entered the ring against one of the biggest heavyweights of the time period, Jerry Cooney. Cooney, at 6'6" and 220 pounds, dwarfed the 6 foot and 187-pound Gordon.
That's his big punch. S.T. Gordon is 11-2, and all by knockouts.
Well, right now, S.T. Gordon looks more like a ballet dancer than a fighter to me. Gordon, I was going to say Gordon hasn't thrown a punch in anger tonight, and the first punch he threw, it didn't look like a professional fighter's punch. Well, from what I've seen of Gordon so far, he doesn't belong in the ring with Cooney.
Has a great deal of Vaseline on his face.
There was that left hook to the body. That's
good left hand by S.T. Gordon. Back Cooney out of there.
S.T. came to fight, I guess. The only way S.T. could really get into this fight is by bringing the fight to Cooney, staying inside.
This is not exactly the sweet science. 9 knockouts in 10 professional fights. But as I said, Cooney just got hit with a good left hook.
I think S.T. Gordon can knock your head off. I don't think his style is very impressive, but I'll tell you something, he's strong. Cooney's in a little bit of trouble on the far rope. This is in round 2.
I don't think he's afraid of Cooney anymore. And Gordon decided, let me carry the fight to him.
S.T.'s trying to stay right now.
Doing a good job of it. Keep his head into his chest.
He just walked out of a clinch with his hands down. That is a basic error.
25 seconds left in round 2.
This fight,
Gordon is tired. He got hurt with a left hook.
He just got hit with a good left hook, Gordon. He's fighting out of desperation. The kid definitely can't go past the 4th round.
It's just a question of a couple more punches.
A fight like this doesn't do Cooney a bit of good. You know, it's the wrong opponent. People are actually laughing.
Hang in there, kid. S.T. almost came through the ropes again on our monitor. I'll tell you, he's not going to quit. Cooney's still after him.
Chico, say something.
I don't know what to say.
I'd also I think they ought to check that 11-2 record a little closer.
Wise move by the referee. Stop the fight.
Richard Green has given Cooney his 11th straight fight, his 10th by knockout. And there is S.T. Gordon.
Chuck Harris would protest the decision. After the second round, Harris said, the referee came over to the corner and said the commission would disqualify us if we didn't mix it up more. I said, well, he's beating him. I mean, he made Cooney look sick. I don't think he hit ST 5 times. ST would have knocked out Cooney late. Gordon then began to take on the look of a journeyman, as he would lose back-to-back decisions to heavyweights Eddie Lopez and Earl Tripp. But in 1980, he seemed to get new life as the Cruiserweight division was born, and Gordon would stop Ivy Brown to win the NABF title. In July of 1981, he would score an upset victory, getting a 7th round stoppage over longtime contender Yaki Lopez. But it would be close to a year before Gordon would step back into the ring, this time to challenge the reigning WBC Cruiserweight champion Carlos De Leon.
Fighting Gordon is like playing Russian roulette. You never know when that big bomb is going to come. There it is.
There's one of them right there, and another 2 rights in a row. Again, De Leon took him. He's right in the left scoring. Now the champion in some trouble. Gordon pouring it on, and down he goes with a left hand. A left hand sending De Leon to the canvas. He looked to the corner as he got up, and appears to be all right. Carlos Padilla checking him out carefully, and the crowd on its feet here in round 2. Gordon comes wailing in again.
He's strong, Tim.
He scored with the left hand. De Leon covering most of them with his glove.
He's in trouble.
Another left
He's
hand.
in bad trouble.
He is in trouble with another left hand. And Gordon wailing away. De Leon holding onto the ropes to keep himself up. Gordon pouring it on in the Gordon corner. De Leon trying to survive here in the second round of this title fight. Gordon wailing away, and De Leon is just up by instinct now.
That's all, Tim. He doesn't know where he is right
Target
now.
practice. I don't think Padilla realizes how much trouble he's in. Gordon is landing everything now. De Leon will not go down, but he cannot do a thing.
Tim, he can't stand. The ropes are holding him up.
Gordon is just firing away at will and landing everything now.
Tim, he has to stay in that corner. He can't. His feet won't hold him.
De Leon is just standing up by
Yeah, he can't stand by himself. He can't.
He came out with 2 punches, but he's staggering all over the ring, and this one cannot possibly last. And there it is. It's all over. Carlos Padilla stepping in finally to stop just an onslaught of punches by the new Cruiserweight champion.
It was a brutal, stunning upset and the highlight of his career. But Gordon would get into a car accident, and 8 months would elapse before he would defend the title, this time against another longtime light heavyweight contender in Jesse Burnett. Gordon would stop the veteran in 8 rounds. 3 months later, he would test the heavyweight waters again, this time taking on top contender Trevor Berbick. Gordon would out-hustle Berbick and score the upset.
Let's go to Berbick's corner now.
Don't you realize you're not fighting?
No, my best. I try my best.
You're not trying, Trevor. You fight better than this.
What should I do?
Try to fight better. You got to knock this man out to win.
1-2 punches on him.
Just go right on and get on this guy and don't stop till he falls.
But Berbick would later claim that he had the flu. Berbick's performance was so bad that there were suspicions that he threw the fight, as the entire show was promoted by Don King. 2 months later, Gordon would lose his Cruiserweight title in a rematch against Carlos De Leon, who nearly shut him out over 12 rounds. Gordon would remain inactive for the next 4 years, before suddenly returning to the ring against heavyweight journeyman Dwayne Bonds. Gordon would be stopped in only 49 seconds of the first round, and he would once again disappear from the boxing landscape, never to be seen in the ring again.